What are you doing there?
I'm studying for the World War II test that I have next week, but I don't know any of the answers.
Well, lucky for you, I was looking through my World War II documents, and I've managed to find this.
Really? What's inside?
It explains all the events that happened throughout World War II.
Oh, wow, that's perfect. So how did the war start?
The war actually started when Hitler invaded Poland. The war started with Adolf Hitler. Hitler was a fascist and caused the deaths of millions during his invasion of Europe. Hitler's beliefs were based on fascism, which was created by Benito Mussolini. Hitler rose to power through the Nazi Party, which he used to rebuild Germany's economy and military. It violated the Treaty of Versailles and people were concerned, but British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain did nothing about it because he believed that allowing Hitler to take what he wanted would prevent any conflict. This was called appeasement, and it allowed Hitler to build up a very powerful army. Now that Hitler had more power, he began his attack. He used a strategy known as Blitzkrieg, or lightning war, that consisted of fast-moving tanks supported by soldiers and aircraft. The use of Blitzkrieg allowed Hitler to capture many European countries. France was captured after the Germans went around the Maginot Line. As for the British, despite their best efforts, they had to fall back. During his invasion of Europe, Hitler met with the Soviet Union's leader, Joseph Stalin. The two discussed the situation in Europe and signed the German-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact, agreeing not to attack one another as well as split Poland in half. As for the United States, they didn't want to go to war, but Japan had showed hostility towards the U.S. before Hitler began his attack on Europe. You see, Japan had been attacking mainland China and parts of Asia. The U.S. threatened the Japanese, and the Japanese responded with a surprise attack.
Alright, here's what we do. Militarize our country. We make it great. We make bombs, men's, tanks, everything. Now, after that, we exterminate the non-Iranians. You see them? We don't want them in our country. They are primal beings. We don't need them here. Next, we invade Russia. We gain their land and their people. Next, we just destroy the world.
Oh no, Trump! Shoes on! Wait! You smell that? Hans! Get the Luger! Stay behind the wall! I did this one! Off to Auschwitz they go! To Auschwitz!
Although their surprise attack and use of Blitzkrieg allowed them to advance some distance, the Germans were stopped at the city of Stalingrad. The following battle was horrific, but the Soviets stood their ground, and when winter came, the Germans were unprepared. The harsh winter cut off supplies and froze fuel lines, eventually forcing the Germans to give up.
I ally with you now! Let's go get Germany together!
The Big Three would agree on sending American and British troops to invade Normandy and France. Meanwhile, the Soviets would pressure Germany on the Eastern Front, allowing us to close in on them. The day we arrived in Normandy is known as D-Day, and the following invasion was a horrible battle. People were gunned down in seconds as we made our way up Omaha Beach.
Mr. President, the Japanese refuse to surrender.
I have an idea.
Oh, we're gonna beat America! What's that?
You guys, the war is over.
It's all because of capitalism.
No, it's because of communism!
So how'd it go?
I aced it!